this is a Fender Player II Series Telecaster in polar white with the Rosewood fingerboard. And I'm going to talk about this guitar, do some playthroughs of it, and give you my final thoughts on it. So I bought this guitar. This video is not sponsored. I actually got it off a Reverb from Liberty Music Shop. They set up all their guitars before they send them to you, so that's really cool. They sent me like a hat and stuff, which was just a nice little gesture, I thought. So just wanted to give them a shout out. I'll link them in the description. I'll have some affiliate links too. But to just go through this, so you have the classic ear tuners on here. They have like the smaller tuning knobs that I'm used to, but they got a nice feel to them. Everything feels good. You kind of stick the string in from the top into the middle of it, and then you twist it around. So that's something new. I'll see how I like that when I change the strings. And then you have the synthetic bone nut, so it's not real bone. Then when you're going down the neck here, you got the satin finish on the back, which is really nice, really smooth, easy to fly around on. You got the rolled fingerboard edges, which is subtle, but it makes a big difference. It's just very comfortable. So I actually have a Player I neck here on this Stratocaster, and this does not have the rolled fingerboard edges. It still has the satin neck. It still feels pretty nice. Came with the synthetic bone, but it doesn't have the rolled fingerboard edges, so it's a little sharper, and it's not that it's like a huge deal playing this, but you do notice that the Telecaster is much more comfortable. And you also have the Pow Pharaoh on the Player I series neck, and I actually resurrected this guitar, put a new neck on it, put all new electronics in it. I'll link that up here if you want to watch that video. But I definitely prefer this Telecaster neck, and I am amazed with how easy it is to play. The string tension, it's super easy to play the strings and everything, and I'm actually surprised with how easy it is to play this, and I'm really enjoying it. And moving down, you have the El Nico 5 pickups. These are reserved for the Player series, and I think these pickups are nice, especially for like a Mexican-made, not American-made guitar. I think they sound really nice. I know some people are going to want to switch them out, and you never know what the future may hold, but for now, I really actually like these pickups. And then you have the 6-saddle bridge. I wish I had a brass saddle, the 3 saddles, just for the look, the vintageness of it. But you know, this is actually a really nice bridge. It's very smooth, easy to run your hand around. Then the switches feel like they're high quality. You got a good feel there. And then, you know, these knobs are very touch sensitive, and they feel really nice as well. And then just the look of it, it just looks great. It's got a little darker of a neck. This maple's a little darker than the Player I series, which I'll see if I can just put these up next to each other. You can see that it's darker, which kind of just gives it a nicer tone. It's like a nice tan, you know, in the summertime. People think you look better with a tan than, you know, in the winter when you're pale white, if you're like me, anyways. But, you know, I just think it looks nicer, and it plays great, feels great, and I think that's pretty much it. So we'll get into doing some sound samples out of this, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Here's a neck pickup. And middle pickup. Then you got the bridge. So overall, I think it's a really nice guitar. I did a lot of research before buying this to realize it was the one that I wanted to buy. I didn't really want to spend over $1,000 on a guitar, and with this, you're not going to have to. Overall, I think it's a good guitar. It feels really good, high quality. Some people are going to want to change out the pickups in it. I'm hoping I'm not one of those people, but we'll see down the line. I kind of get obsessive with things and then end up doing it. Like I wanted to buy a Telecaster and then I ended up buying a Telecaster, which is funny because when I started playing guitar, I thought Telecasters were the ugliest guitars out there. And over the years, I've just kind of fallen in love with the look of them, the simplicity of them and everything. And I think, you know, this can be a really solid guitar for a long time. And just the build quality on it, I mean, if you have issues with any of the electronics, which I don't think you're gonna, everything feels like it's high quality, you can just change it out. Like they're very modular, very easy to change parts out. Things I don't like, doesn't come with a gig bag, doesn't really bother me much because I have gig bags and stuff that I can throw it into. But just, you know, always nice when it comes with its own gig bag. I don't like that it doesn't have the brass saddles. I mean, I've only played like a few Telecasters before, but I just kind of want that vintage look and tone and everything out of it. And it's hard for me to complain about these 6 saddles because they are like super comfortable. It's super easy to slide your hand over them and everything. You're not getting caught on any of the screws. They're all recessed enough. Unlike on a Stratocaster, which the screws are sticking out on that bridge and that kind of, you know, digs into your hand a little bit. This is very nice. I just wish it was brass. Synthetic bone nut, wish it was bone. Could change that out potentially too. But, you know, just little complaints because companies like Sire are now making guitars with bone nuts. They have the brass saddles. They have the rolled fingerboard edges. And I do understand, you know, Sire is not as big of a company as Fender. It's harder for Fender to make a product like that. And I'm sure they probably could, but they have a lot more marketing costs and overhead costs than a company like Sire, which is a lot smaller. So that's something you got to take into account, right? If you want the brand name, bigger company, more history, you're going to have to pay a little more because they have higher expenses to run their business. Right. But I think overall, the look of this thing, the feel of it, the playability, it's a really nice guitar. Like I definitely recommend it. I don't have very many issues with it. There's like a little scratch here, which is all I've seen for finishing issues. And I bought this from a store. Like, I don't know if this was hanging on the shelf. People played it. It could have got banged up a little bit. Like, I don't know what happened. And I don't really care that much because this thing's going to get its own nicks and dings and everything for me playing it. And, you know, it's a Telecaster. It's not even supposed to, it's supposed to get beat up, right? I think that's kind of the point of it. But for a brand new guitar, you'd kind of wish there wasn't any finishing issues. But yeah, overall, I think it's good. Most of these are weighing in somewhere around 8 pounds, maybe a little less, maybe a little over. This is 8.1 ounces. So overall, I don't have a lot of cons about it. Like I might end up putting brass saddles onto this thing. Maybe put a bone nut, but I don't know. I mean, I really don't mind the synthetic bone that much. And we'll see where we go with it. But definitely recommend the Fender Player II. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.